What's up guys, Winter Kills here and welcome back to another deck profile. So today we've got Synchro Fusionist. A couple people were asking for an updated build. I've only got one profile of this on my channel already, uploaded a couple weeks ago, and you guys seem to like that a whole lot actually. And if you want to see this deck in action, I've got several videos of this deck playing in action, pulling off the hand loop, not pulling off the hand loop, doing some other things. And if I remember, I'll put some of those videos and the links to those videos down in the description for you to check out afterwards if you want, or before you watch the profile, you can get a better understanding of how the deck works. Because I'm not going to go into too much detail on the card choices, but you know what I mean. We'll get into the monster lineup right away, and hope you guys enjoy the profile. All right, guys. So to start off, we're playing basically the name of the deck. We're playing triple Synchro Fusionist. So anytime this is used or sent to the graveyard, I should say, for a synchro summon, you can basically add to your hand any card, any spell card with the name Fusion or Polymerization in it. And this sets up your Refusion, your Brilliant Fusion, and your Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion being better late game, as well as Refusion to bring back the Seraphinite or Norden if need be. More often than not, it's going to be Norden to help extend your plays, or if it's very early game, you definitely want to grab that Brilliant Fusion because there's nothing better than getting a second normal summon to help make your plays even better. Then 3, in my opinion, what is the best card in the deck? Level Eater. This card really makes your plays that much more vast and, have more magnitude to your plays, I should say, because the versatility of being able to keep bringing him out and adjusting levels, setting up really good plays with your level 1 synchros, or your level 1 tuners, I should say, that allow you to go into formula, or with any of the 4s you're playing, allow you to go into your 5s, which are really powerful, like Acel and Librarian, and then obviously formula, as I mentioned earlier. And this is the thing that if you get Maxied on, this is what wins you the game, because you can just keep bringing this out, and that's how you deck out your opponent. 2 giant or power giants. This helps get dead things out of your hand that you don't want in your hand into the graveyard, like a Mizuki or something, or a Level Eater, and then basically you special summon this by discarding a level 4 lower monster, and then you decrease his level by the amount of levels that the monster you discarded had, and then you just deduct it from this. So if you discard a 4, he becomes a 2, a 1, a 5, etc., etc. I really like this card. It sets up a lot of really good plays. Then we play 2 Gem Knight Lazuli. This is for your Brilliant Fusion engine that also goes along as with this, and any of the lights we play, which I believe is a Ghost Ogre as well. And that is a proxy. I know Gold just came out. We don't have a Ghost Ogre. I don't have a Ghost Ogre. We'll get one soon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's alright. And then we play one more Clown. We play the Hat Tricker. It's just obviously a free special summon's a free special summon. It's just a really good card. Then we play 1 Ghost Ogre. Obviously, this can be a target for your Brilliant Fusion. It is a light monster. However, if you do not use this, and you have gone first, and you don't end up pulling off the greatest turn, you make a somewhat substantial field with maybe 3 Omega. You don't pull off the double Trish with the backseal loop or through Desynchro, which this build is playing. This is a really good play disruption if you E-tally it out during your opponent's turn. Obviously, you know what you can do from there to negate, or not negate stuff, but destroy stuff on effect activation. That's an E-tally target as long as Dr. Frankendirt. Basically, if this card is normal special summon, you can pay 500 life points, and then you can draw a card. You can look at it. If you want to keep it, you reveal it to your opponent, and then you skip your next draw phase. If you don't want it, you just put it to your bottom of your deck. You do not show your opponent. So basically, you can E-tally out a free upstart goblin, and more often than not, you don't really care if you lose your next draw phase because you have Librarian and Formula, etc. Or if you really pulled off a really good first turn, you win anyways. Next, we play 2 Unizombie for the Zombie Engine. Basically, this is level modifier for any other monster in the field by discarding a card first, increasing that target's level by 1, or decreasing it by 1. So you potentially decrease the level of any monster in the field, including himself, by 2, or decrease it by 2, or increase it by 2. You can either go for himself with the Level Eater combo that gets you an instant Librarian. It's a really nice play. If you normal summon this and you open the Level Eater, which is already starting off a great turn despite what other cards you open, you discard this, becomes a 4, and then you send a Plague Spreader from deck to grave, or a Mizuki, whatever you need, and then you make it a 5, you level leader it, now it's a 4, you synchro for 5, you have an instant excel or librarian, which are 2 of your best level 5 synchros, or your best synchros in general to go into, and then you got your plague and your Mizuki, as I mentioned earlier, to finish off the zombie engine. And then a nice little combo piece we're playing, we have the one Junk Synchron and the Doppel Warrior. These cards don't really come up too often, but it's definitely a great utility to have late game. If you do not end up winning turn 1, these 2 cards are really nice to help extend your plays. And I really like the small engine, and I think it works well. Next, we'll start off with some level 1 tuners. We got Glow Up Bulb, Recover, which is an amazing card since you can definitely abuse its special summon effect. If you have 5, if your opponent has 5 more cards in the extra deck than you, since you can burn through your extra deck really fast, you can basically summon this guy out twice, once through E-Tele, and then second by his own effect. Synchron Resonator, if you control a Synchro, you can just special summon this level 1 tuner. It's a free summon. Amazing card. And then what Jet Synchron, another really good card, level 1 tuner. You can send it to the graveyard and summon it by discarding a card, so discard level leader, Plague Spreader, Trick Clown, discard anything, get it out of your hand, and then you get yourself a free level 1 tuner. So that's it for the monster lineup. Whole lot of monsters, whole lot of bunch of stuff pushed together, all to make a very beautiful engine called Synchro Fusionist Turbo. Next, we'll go into the spells. We won't bother transitioning here. We'll just go straight into it. We got triple instant fusion. I feel like this is a no-brainer. Instant fusion with Norden is just absolutely busted. The fact that you can just tutor anything out of your grave to set up, level 5 synchro, set up anything. It's just a really good card that you definitely want to play, and it's the target for, as we said earlier, target for your Synchro Fusionist. 3 Brilliant Fusion. We got another target, and then this build is different from the last build. That build, I believe, was playing 3 Upstart Goblin to this one's 3 Desynchro. A lot of the times with the other version, without having the utility of this card, is that you would often need to rely on the Yazi into Baxia play, which a lot of times you really can't end up pulling off because it requires a whole lot of resources and then just a really good hand in general. But on top of that, this allows you just to go into the triple Omega, which isn't that hard to do, and then you can just go into the Trish, and then if you've got the Desynchro, you just Desynchro it, summon everything back, and then you make your second Trish again. It's just a good card. And it definitely makes the whole hand loop a little bit easier. The only really major difference is just whether or not you're playing Upstart or Desynchro. It really doesn't matter too much. I think this is a little bit better. It's a little more safer. And then next we play 3 Emergency Teleport. Basically, very obvious choice in the deck. We play a whole lot of good psychics that we need to get on board. One of those being Recover, being your best bet to get out with E-Tele. You can also tutor out your Ghost Ogre and your Dr. Frankenderp, just free special summons that are all tuners except Frankenderp, so you basically E-Tele out that free Upstart like we mentioned earlier. And yeah, basically you need to play this card at 3, very important. And I think some people were asking earlier that will this deck be really hindered if this card goes to 1 or 2? In my opinion, not too much, as long as you have the ability to get that Recover out in some way, shape, or form, whether or not you're seeing this card that fast. I mean, you can always play the Upstart build so you can see it a little faster, but it's not the most important card in the deck. However, it is important nonetheless, and just being able to get out those Psychics, not to mention just to get out Recover alone, is your best bet with this card. Soul Charge, 1-for-1, Refusion, Foolish, your 4 power cards in the main deck. Definitely going to want these cards. Very good cards. Play them. Yeah, and that's it for the main deck. We'll jump into the extra deck now. Alright guys, so to start off with the extra deck, it wouldn't be the hand loop monster of the deck we know it is without the 3 Psyframe Lord Omega. Basically, this card is absolutely nuts. Not only does it knock cards to your opponent's hand, but it's an amazing level leader target. Just keep bringing it out and synchroing with other cards, and then you've got plenty of levels to eat off this guy before you need to get him off the field to make room. Not just banish cards out of your opponent, or not, yeah, banish cards out of your opponent's hand, and then they come back and when you OTK them with. So basically, this extra deck is a 16 card extra deck thanks to the addition of a new card that just came out. We'll get to that in a moment. Basically having a really hard time deciding what card to cut. The extra deck is extremely tight. A lot of the stuff you really need in the extra deck to have. Now the Yazi and the Baxia are still in here, debating whether or not I want to get rid of that engine entirely. I think it's still a really good engine, regardless whether it can recycle Trish or not. You still have the utility of Baxia, which is really amazing. The one Trish and the Baxia and the Yazi. So basically, you need Yazi to make Baxia. Baxia can spin a card when he's summoned up to the number of war monsters used. So you normally bounce back Trish if you already didn't desynchro it. I suppose you can make Trish 3 times even, I don't know. But the thing is, this guy, he brings back a level 4 monster from the graveyard. That sets up huge plays, especially if you have Norden with instant fusion, refusion, and then this guy, that's 3 Nordens in 1 turn. So it's a really good play to pass up. Really good play to not pass up, I should say. A really good utility to have. So I don't know, I really do like this engine, even with desynchro on the main board. I think this is still a really good engine. Ancient Fairy Dragon, another suspect I was thinking about cutting, but again, it's a free level 4 special summon while he's on the field. I mean, you could argue that sometimes it's not always going to be that relevant. You may not always need that effect, especially if you have Brilliant Fusion and other cards like that. It may not be necessary. And then this is the card that recently came out in Premium Gold, Infinite Gold. Stardust Charge Warrior. Basically, I'll read the effect for you guys as follows. When this card is Synchro Summon, you can draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Stardust Charge Warrior once per turn. This card can attack all special summon monsters your opponent currently controls once each. So basically, it's a level 6 formula. And I found myself a lot of times playing this deck how nice it would be to go into a level 6 Synchro monster. But there's not really too many in the game right now that fit the category of this deck until this guy comes out. So if you've got Librarian on board, you can go Norden into a Plague Spreader or a Level Eater or something, and another level 1 tuner. Make this guy Synchro. You draw 2 more cards, and then you can make Formula. However you do that, Formula, draw another card, and then sync with the Formula and this guy into another guy, which would be your Omega as a level 8, and draw another card. So there's a potential 5 draws you can get out of this card if you've set it up right. You go to this, and then you go Formula, and then you sync these two, the Formula and the Charge Warrior for the Omega. It's just a really good play. I don't know. I have been mentioning this card in the extra deck for a long time in past profiles and duel videos and commentaries and such. Now the card's finally here, we're playing it, but here's the dilemma. We still got 1 card to cut in the extra deck, and I'm not really sure what that's going to be. So I was kind of hoping for you guys' opinion on that. And then for the stables, we need the Librarian, we need the Accel Synchron. Still playing double Tatsunoko. Getting dead stuff out of your hand is so important. This guy is just so important overall. And then we play 2 formulas. Again, I think formula is still really good to play. I don't think I want to cut one for the Charge Warrior, Norden, and Seraphinite, obviously, for instant and Brilliant Fusion. So that's it for the main deck. I should say extra deck. Extra deck and main deck, that's it for the profile. We'll go ahead and wrap things up now. Alright guys, so that's been it for this updated Synchro Fusionist deck profile. I really hope you did enjoy. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Your thoughts, opinions on the deck, anything you wanted to mention to the deck. Like I said, anything I've asked about earlier with the extra deck. If you got any tips or suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. So yeah, this deck is actually surprisingly very viable. It's just a really, really good deck. The consistency is actually very surprising in what it can do. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'll try to leave 1 or 2 videos with this deck featured in it for you guys to check out. Now that you've seen the profile, you've seen what the deck entails, now you can go see what it's all about in those dual videos. So if you want to do that, there'll be links in the description, etc., etc. If you like the video, do yourself a favor, and me a favor, I guess, and leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're new here, do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button. The support is greatly appreciated, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Like, we hit 1,500 subs not too long ago, and we're already at like 1,540 or something. Like, my God, you guys are amazing, and I appreciate every ounce of support. Wouldn't be here without you guys. It really does mean a lot. And anyways, that's been it for this Synchro Fusionist deck profile. Let me know what you think, like I said earlier. And Winter Kill Santa now, guys. I'll see you in the next one.